Hey guys, this is the fourth episode of the series I'm calling Consistency of Movement, which basically means that the more you move, the more different types of movement that you do, the happier and healthier you'll be. Today's form of movement was conditioning of the hands and the rest of the body. Making my bones harder and stronger through full body conditioning serves two purposes. One, the ability to absorb impact with less damage, and two, making my strikes, punches, kicks, making them all much harder and giving me the ability to deal more damage to my opponent. Being a good person goes a long way. In today's society, I think people highly underestimate the value of being a good, virtuous, wholesome person. And it doesn't make sense to me because the people I know who are good people, the better a person I become, the happier, the more fulfilled I am. The better relationships I have, the better days I have, better years I have, while we're reflecting on the new year, 2023. I see a linear rate between me becoming a better person and me having a better overall experience of life. And it's such a worthwhile pursuit because being a better person not only helps you and your life, but it helps everyone else around you. So when you become a better person, everyone wins. And when you become a worse person, everyone loses, including yourself. So developing kindness and fairness and wisdom and developing a hardened mentality. That's another benefit of this training I'm doing right here. It not only hardens the body, but it hardens the mind. I once heard a Stoic philosopher say, the body must be treated harshly so it's not disobedient to the mind. And I agree with that principle here. Because by hitting my body against metal, not like super hard, not enough to cause injury, but enough to break down my bones to allow them to calcify and build up stronger, I'm not only making the bones stronger, but I'm making my mind stronger. My pain tolerance goes up. So now, when I'm training or sparring or fighting or anything like that, my body and my mind are both more resistant to blunt impact. And as such, I'm less likely to get injured. And I think the same general principle can be applied to character. If you have a good character, if you're a strong person, a strong human being, if you're strong mentally, then when troubles come, when you lose your significant other, when you lose your job, when you don't perform like you want to, because of the mentality that you have been refining, it's a lot easier to handle troubles and difficulties and misfortune. Like I often say, diamonds are formed under pressure. There's studies that show that the way you view stress affects the way that it plays out in your body. People that view stress as something positive, something that will help them, something that will build them, they tend to live longer and be happier. It actually adds years onto your life, the way you view stress. And also, in the reverse, studies show that when you view stress as something that will break you or damage you or tear you down, that you don't live as long and you aren't as happy and you aren't as fulfilled. So try to remember that today. that stress is meant to build you. It can build you if you allow it to, or it can break you. I mean, it's really a personal choice, honestly. It's one of the things I've learned lately is that you get to choose the way you view stress, and you get to choose the way stress affects you. So I choose to view it as a building block, as a stepping stone. And it has done wonders for my life. So change the way you view stress, and you will change the way you operate in the world. Now I'm going to read some quotes from some philosophers of the philosophy of Stoicism. And for those of you who don't know, Stoicism is an ancient philosophy that stresses being a good person and focusing on what you can control and discarding what you can't. Stoicism is a philosophy that has really helped me in my life to build me into a better person in every capacity. Quote, "We are often more frightened than hurt. We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Seneca. That's so true. We are often more frightened than hurt, and we suffer more in imagination than reality. A lot of times, especially overthinkers, man, I overthink. I overthink a lot. We create problems for ourselves that would not otherwise exist. And it's crazy. It's ridiculous. We create problems for ourselves. We imagine scenarios that make us churn and cringe and worry and have fear and anxiety. Once again, that's the great thing about mental training, is it teaches you to see things for what you are, for what they are, as opposed to making up some story in your mind that doesn't benefit you. Quote, "It isn't the things themselves that disturb people, but the judgments that they form about them." Epictetus. Wow. Once again, really true. Our judgments affect everything. How we choose to judge something, how we choose to view something. Just like I was saying about stress earlier. If I make the judgment that stress is beneficial for me, then it'll make me better in the long run. But if I choose the judgment that, oh, I can't handle stress, I can't handle difficulty, I can't handle hardship, then it negatively affects me. But the key thing here is that my judgment of situations, of scenarios, of people, of things, determines the effect that they have in my life. Quote, "How does it help to make troubles heavier by bemoaning them?" Seneca. Once again, right on it. This quote speaks to acceptance. Acceptance of everything, especially the troubles that we have in our lives. If you don't accept something, then you can't deal with it. If you put things off, or wish things were different, or cry and complain about the way your life is, or what's happened to you, it doesn't help at all. Like the quote says, to make troubles heavier. It makes it worse. You multiply your hurt by avoiding the reality of a situation. You multiply your troubles by not accepting them as they are and adjusting accordingly. All right, guys, that'll be all for the YouTube video today. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Out.